If you're a musician and you struggle with the social media influencer world drowning out all your hard work and ambition, this video is for you. I see musicians trying to put out content. Everyone's caught on to the fact that there's like a very heavy emphasis on we gotta have video these days, and it makes for some really awkward, uncomfortable, not great content and difficulty in the musician. This video is going to discuss why the influencer / personal brand angle is so juxtaposed to the pursuit of the musical artist. And if you wait till the end of this video, I'm going to tell you one big secret that most musicians miss, and they spend hundreds to thousands of dollars trying to get labels or agencies to do for them. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Drew McClellan. I am here to help people become the leaders of their own lives, whether it be in art, whether it be in conscious creativity moving forward, finding a blend, finding a balance that works for all of us, help us thrive together. Let's get into the video. If you're a musician and you cringe every time that you even hear someone mention social media, you are not alone. I'm sure you have tons of friends that actually respond to social media in this way, because it can be such a place filled with toxic nature and ultimately stagnation for the artist. I remember when I first got on social media, I could care less about it. It was just sort of a place where I posted random photos that I had taken. It wasn't even really directly correlated. I didn't understand anything about building a brand or a personal brand or a brand within a band. It didn't matter that much to me. I didn't understand the purpose of it. And it was always, in my opinion, that someone else needed to do the marketing for my music. Someone else needed to build up my image for me or get it out to people. There's this whole yesterday's trope of musicians thinking that they just still need to be discovered, and they don't want to, I get it. I mean, like, as an artist, you don't want to have to put money, you don't want to have to put time and effort and money into the marketing side of things. So what you end up doing is you find someone who generally is not in your best interest. They're the business person who will, use your money for you. That's managers, labels, agencies most of the time. Another piece of social media for an artistic mind is that the doom scrolling can so quickly lead to this inner critic, this comparison game. There is so much dope shit out there right now that I love to watch, but I'd limit myself to it for a reason, and that reason is because if I watch too much of it, it will make me stagnant in my own artistic endeavors. And it can crush your ego, and that ego is so integral to why most artists, especially performing artists, even started in the first place. There's some point that I, to myself, said, I'm playing these songs, I'm writing these songs, I'm good enough to go perform them. And you kind of have to live by that self-prescribed doctrine. I'll get into why this is so important a little bit later in the video. The problem that musicians have with influencers is how unaware, unimaginative, and how shameless it can really be. The expert influencer can pull out their camera on selfie mode, record a video, upload it in a matter of no time, and have an engaging piece of content right there. The expert musician can spend a lifetime honing in the craft, learning different variables and nuances of their voice and their tone and their pitch and their skill sets and their talents, their mixing and their mastering, collaborational efforts, and still find themselves with a product at the end of the day that they really love, but no way to find how it gets to a audience in any kind of memorable way. Especially in 2026, we have talent just seeping out of every little crevice of the galaxy at this point. I'm going to tell you something right now that many of you might not like to hear. But you, as an artist, are jealous of the influencer. Justify it or not, this builds a staunch rejection of personal branding. Look, one side, you spend a lot of time and you spend your life's work to build the product. The other side, you callously put things out there, you accept that a lot of it's gonna be super cringeworthy, and you just deal with it. One thing that often goes by the wayside is how actually difficult it is to be on camera. And I'll even take that a step further and say how difficult it is to be yourself on camera. The influencer model is no easier than developing stage presence or learning a new instrument. It's just its own craft, and that craft is very cringe to the individual. But I will tell you one thing, there is almost no better way to dissolve your ego than to start doing the practice of one-on-one with the camera, talking into the camera, trying to relay your message to an audience. You will find so many blocks, you will find so many hiccups, you will find so much comparison in yourself and self-judgment that if you persist with the practice, you will start to dissolve that ego. If you're a musician and you're watching this, ask yourself, how much ego-driven motive do you have? How much ego are you caught up in? I know it's a lot of you. I've been on all sides of the performance and the booking sides of doing shows. There are egos flying around everywhere. You have to boast yourself up so much to continue to put yourself out there. And I want to present you with this. What if it's not all about the ego drive? What if you can step aside from yourself and actually benefit and actually approach people in a different way and not just be this fake this projection of an icon? You can actually be a cool dude too, as well as a talented person. Just a thought. Which leads us to the secret that I'm about to tell you that most people spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on, trying to get someone else to do, trying to figure out some way to skirt around it. If a musical artist has an inflated ego as a result of performative self-projection, a reliance on managers or agencies to try and make them a household name, market them up, an inferiority complex built by their own inner critic comparing themselves to all other digital creators, all kinds of other content out in the world, then the secret is this. Building a personal brand is one of the most powerful tools to help a musical artist. In marketing, in creativity, and in mental wellness. In my humble opinion, mental wellness is really the big one. You have to get outside of your own shit. You got to get outside of your own bubble and get out of your own self-obsessive, I'm so fragile artist type of mentality and really see yourself how others are seeing you. Benefit from that. Remember, a personal brand does not equal revenue any more than a great song equals royalties. Don't sabotage yourself by trying to quantify your art and creativity in monetary values and dollar amounts. And don't be afraid of expanding your artistic and creative pursuits to new forms and new mediums of creativity. Because when we do expand beyond our biggest hiccups and our biggest hangups that we have, as artists, as creative people in general, we face the fears that we have about ourselves or about some kind of territory we think is off limits. We grow creatively and open up to much more potential in our artistic processes.